you ever stop and think, what's actually happening inside your body during an asthma attack? Well, today, we're gonna crash a party. A wild, completely out-of-control party that's going down right inside your lungs. And we're even gonna meet some pretty surprising chaperones that might just be able to calm the whole thing down.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, I want you to imagine something with me. What if an asthma attack wasn't just some dry medical condition, but was actually a party in your lungs that has gone completely off the rails? Because honestly, that's the best way to understand what we're talking about today.
Because when you really boil it down, that's what's happening with conditions like asthma. Your body's security team, your immune system, it means well, it really does, but its reaction to something totally harmless, like pollen or dust, is just way, way over the top.
So, picture this. Your lungs, they're the house. An uninvited guest, let's say an allergen, shows up at the door, and your immune system solution? To throw a massive, raging party to deal with it. The only problem is, the party gets so wild, it starts wrecking the house. All right, so who exactly are these guests causing all this chaos? Well, in our immune system, they're not people. They're these tiny molecules. And let me tell you, they are the life of this out-of-control party. Let's meet the main troublemakers, shall we?
First up, I want you to meet interleukin-4, or IL-4 for short. This guy is the party's official hype man. It's a type of protein called a cytokine, and its whole job is to grab the megaphone, get everybody all riled up, and kick off the whole allergic inflammation party. He's the one yelling, "Let's get this thing started."
And get this, the hype man doesn't just wing it. He has a playbook. First, he calls for backup, telling other cells to make this key allergy antibody called IgE. Then, he sends out these VIP invites to a very specific crew of troublemakers called Eosinophils. He also starts making the dance floor all sticky by cranking up mucus production. And finally, he just turns the volume way up on all the other allergy signals, making the party even louder and crazier.
Next up, meet IL-4's partner in crime, interleukin-5, or IL-5. If IL-4 is the hype man, then IL-5 is the eosinophil wrangler. Its main job is to make sure the rowdiest guests, those eosinophils, not only get to the party, but that they stick around to cause the maximum amount of chaos. It's basically the bouncer who only lets the troublemakers in.
And that brings us to the eosinophils themselves. These guys are the ultimate party crashers. They're a type of white blood cell, and when they show up in your lungs in huge numbers, they're the ones knocking over the furniture, spilling drinks. They cause the airways to swell up and produce even more mucus. They are the ones causing the real damage.
So what's fueling this whole chaotic party, you ask? Well, it's these molecules called Leukotrienes. I want you to think of them as the sketchy energy drinks that everyone is chugging. They're made from this stuff called arachidonic acid, and their main effect is to make the rooms feel smaller and smaller by constricting the airways, just adding to the whole mess.
Okay, so the party is an absolute disaster. The music is blasting, the place is a total mess, and you can barely breathe. It is definitely time to call in some chaperones, the peacemakers who might just be able to restore a little bit of order. Our first potential peacemaker is something called DHM, or dihydromyricetin. In our little story, this is the hype man handler. Its whole specialty is dealing directly with the loudest, most obnoxious guest at the party, our friend IL-4. Next up, we've got the omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. Let's just call them the chill snack crew. See, they don't try to shut the party down. Nah, they just change the whole vibe by putting out much, much better snacks. And finally, there's Quercetin. This is our all-around manager. It's a super versatile player that can step in and help manage several different problems all at once. Kind of like one of those seasoned event coordinators who just knows how to handle chaos.
So, okay, we've met our peacemakers, but how do they actually calm the party down? Let's take a look at their specific strategies for bringing back the peace.
Remember DHM, the hype man handler? Well, what the emerging science suggests is that it works by going right up to our hype man, IL-4, and the wrangler, IL-5, and basically telling them to quiet down. By turning down their volume, it's like asking them to put the megaphone away, which, as you can imagine, helps calm the entire scene down.
Now, what about our chill snack crew, the omega-3s? Remember that rowdy party fuel arachidonic acid? Well, omega-3s actually compete with it. So instead of the body using that fuel to make those super hyper-inflammatory leukotrienes, it uses the omega-3s to make molecules that are way less inflammatory. It's kind of like swapping out those sugary energy drinks for some calm herbal tea. It just changes the whole vibe.
But wait, there's more. Omega-3s, and especially DHA, help the body create these special molecules called Resolvins. And these things are absolutely amazing. They don't just calm the party down. They are the professional cleanup crew that comes in afterwards to actively shut down the inflammation and tell the party crashers, the Eosinophils, all right, everyone, party's over, time to go home.
So what about our all-around manager, Quercetin? Well, it's a true multitasker with a serious to-do list. Research suggests it can also help manage the hype man and the Wrangler. It can get those party-crashing eosinophils under control, and it can even help clean up that sticky mucus mess they've made. It does a little bit of everything.
So the crucial point here, the big idea, is all about balance. But, and this is really important, before we wrap up, there are some very important rules we need to cover. So please, listen closely to this part. The big takeaway from all of this new science is that the goal isn't to shut the immune system's party down completely. I mean, we need it. The goal is to help manage the instigators, to bring things back into balance. It's about turning that chaotic, damaging rave into a well-managed, happy get-together in your lungs.
Okay, now for the really important warning. This whole party metaphor, it's just a story, a way to help explain some complex and emerging science. DHM, omega-3s, and quercetin are not, I repeat, not FDA-approved treatments for asthma. This is for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice.
And just to be absolutely crystal clear, the research is firm on this. Before you even think about adding any of these or any new supplements to your routine, you absolutely must talk to a healthcare professional to discuss what's right for you and your specific situation. That is non-negotiable. And all of this leaves us with a final, pretty thought-provoking question, doesn't it? As we learn more and more about how these natural compounds work inside our bodies, it really makes you wonder, could the future of managing our health be found not just in the pharmacy, but also on our plates? Thanks for tuning in.